It's Hot Mike with Hutton and Withrow, where daily we discuss the National Football League and the push for the postseason. In the AFC, plenty of teams trying to jockey for positioning. In the NFC, well, the best teams in the NFL with the Philadelphia Eagles and San Francisco 49ers.
Well, hold on, Hutton. Not just those teams, but how about the Detroit Lions is one of the best teams in the NFL? Other shows may not mention that or talk about it. We will.
We are on board with Detroit. Subscribe to the podcast. Join us each day for Hot Mike with Hutton and Withrow across the Outkick Network. We discuss the NFL, college football, and the top headlines from Outkick.com.
Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. I'm recording this episode off of the software Audacity. I'm gonna call it Odyssey, but I was turning off my fan in case y'all heard that beeping noise. But anyways, welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. What am I going to talk? Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. I almost forgot what I was going to talk about. That had just been really dumb of me. But anyways, no, it's kind of like a motivational episode. It's more so as telling y'all like how to fight depression. I know for some people it might be harder for them to fight it than it is for others. But the thing is, we're all the same. That's one thing that I had to say motivating for everybody is that we're all the same. You know, we might operate differently. We might do things differently. But at the end of the day, I think I said this not too long ago in one of the episodes that we have the same type of blood. We have the same type of lungs, the same type of brain, heart, legs, arms. We are all the same. So if one person got through depression, I know for a fact that you can get through depression. And I don't even know you. I don't know your situation. I don't know anything that you're dealing with. But I know that you can get through depression. I've gotten through it. I've read where my friends have gotten through it. I've seen, and that's why I had seen this post today. And that's for people that kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say that they brag about depression. I feel like bragging about depression is just poor choice of words to use. But people that are just overly depressed, like, now there's help for them too. There's like all the help in the world for them. But for a person to like not, I wouldn't see, once again, poor choice of words, but to not, I guess, like not rub it in a person's face, but to like put it in a person's face all the time that you're depressed. And then you're saying stuff like you're feeling suicidal. There's no hope for me. There's no help for me and all that stuff. Like, you have to accept the help that people give you. Because I remember in the beginning of this whole quarantine situation when I was dealing with my like side of depression and stuff. I mean, and it hit me hard. I don't think depression has ever hit me that hard before. So that's why I'm like dealing with that. And then be able to talk about it today and then let you know, like, you will get through it. And you know what? Don't get me wrong. I still have there's things that I still think about and it gets to me. But I am not I'm not the person that I was at the start of this whole quarantine. I have to say that all of that stuff that I dealt with made me a stronger person right now to be able to sit down and talk about it. And it ain't no thing where it's like, oh, well, it's not as, your situation is not as bad. Depression, it doesn't matter what situation it is. If you're feeling a certain way, because I'll tell you guys this right now, for those that, if you wanted to know, like, what was I doing, like, while being, like, all depressed and things. Well, I wasn't able to record YouTube videos. I did not have the motivation to do YouTube videos. I didn't have the motivation to eat food. So, for the most part, I was drinking Red Bulls, and I know that that's not healthy. I know you gotta, like, wash a Red Bull down with something, but yeah, I wasn't eating properly. I was laying in bed pretty much all day, like, because it was like I ain't have nowhere else to go to, so I just pretty much just lay in bed all day. There wasn't really a whole lot of people for me to talk to, and I didn't really feel comfortable talking to people, like, about like what was making me depressed and things. So overall, I did have to do something different, because I remember back in high school, I kind of dealt with the similar situation. I think for those that know what I'm talking about, and but in high school, I had dealt with a similar situation, and I remember I didn't talk to anybody about it, and it did affect me for a while. And so that's why I was like, I kind of like excluded myself from a lot of things. Like I was like, I don't really want to be bothered, but this time around, dealing with all of the depression and things, I talked to people, I talked to friends, and that was seriously the best thing that I could have done. Rather than pushing them away, telling them that there's no hope for me, telling them that they can't help me, that there's nothing and I was thinking like the stuff that they're telling me, like, I wish that this would take like effect right now, but that's the thing. Like, I'm very impatient. I'm a very, very impatient person. So I expect things to like happen right then and there, like I want stuff to just like hurry up and like, get it over with. I tried like doing that. Like I tried doing that with everything. So I'm pretty sure, people, I'm pretty sure, based off of that whole like laptop story I was telling y'all about maybe a few episodes ago. I think I did. But anyways, I'm a very impatient person. So I expect things to happen like right then and there, but it's going to take time. Like you guys see yourself as a building. You guys see yourself as a building. So something might tear you down. I feel like a building would just be poor. I don't even know. Like, what can on a temple? Let's say a temple. I just feel like buildings tearing down, all that. I just feel like that it just doesn't sound right. But anyways, your temple. All right, your body is a temple. Yeah, I think I've heard that saying before. But anyways, your body is a temple. That temple, something will cause it. Whether it's an earthquake, whether it's something, I don't know. But whatever your situation is, it's going to cause that temple to like tear down. Now, there ain't just one particular. I know when they talk about like, oh, my depression is worse than your depression and things. No, at the end of the day, depression is doing the same thing as it's doing to somebody that's dealing with a minor depression or major depression. Overall, you're depressed. This ain't something where, you're able to wake up and be happy and forget the whole situation. Like, I remember that's who I used to be when I was a kid. Something affected me. I'd be mad about it then and there, get it all out my system. And then pretty much the next day, I'm a new person. Like, whatever that situation was, left it alone. And I honestly wish, that's one thing that I think I had to say I miss about it being a kid. School lunches, recess, all that stuff aside, I really do miss the fact that I was able to just brush things off. Like there were at times where stuff had got to me, but I didn't let it like now I feel like I don't know, maybe if the person I was back then, like, who I am right now, like if I had been dealing with that stuff back then, probably I would have been all depressed and stuff, but I was able to brush that stuff off. So that was a good thing about it. And then I had to say that there's also a downfall to it, is that I kind of wish like I would have prepared myself like early for this type of stuff. I wish I would have taken this stuff more serious. Like I remember like younger and growing up, I didn't really take like mental health and depression and all that stuff seriously. Like, I just like, they'd come out with them commercials and things talking about with depression. I just wouldn't even bother to like pay attention to it and stuff. And now like I pay attention to that type of stuff. Now I'm listening to that type of stuff, and then I'm also seeing my friends and then seeing what they having to deal with depression and all of that. And so now I'm taking that stuff more serious. But back then when I was younger, I did not take that stuff serious. So there's people that was like all around me, most likely dealing with that stuff. And who I am today, I make sure, I know I can't cure a person's depression right then and there. I know that for a fact. There has been times where I've had to talk to a person numerous times, but I don't care. That's one thing I was like, I seen this post today on Facebook where it was overall like a person saying like, oh, you don't know how it is to lose a friend, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like overall, like, trying to make it seem like that, oh, there's people out there that, they hadn't dealt with their situation, so therefore they don't understand them. I don't have to deal with your situation. Before me like losing major friends and family in my life, I was there for people when they lost somebody. I know I was there for people when they lost somebody. When they like, whether it was a breakup or they died, like I was always there for people. And even now, like, now dealing with that type of stuff, but I've seen where people, they've had like far more situations worse than mine. And that's the thing where I'm like, I I like, and I don't know, like, I guess, like, I could relate to one of my friends on her situation, but either way, whether I couldn't relate to her or I, like, if this was something that didn't happen to me, I felt like who I overall became as a person, because she had lost both of her grandfathers at, like, around the same time, and same thing happened to me. I lost both of my grandfathers at the same time, but I felt like, well, not at the same time, but, like, around the time and stuff, but overall, I would have been there for her regardless if both of my granddads was here or or not. So like I'm like over here like stuttering and trembling over my words and stuff. I don't even know why. I'm like, I don't know. I guess like in a way I'm kind of like, I'm not nervous to do this episode, but it's just more so as like, dang, maybe I should turn my fan back on to like, cause it's just the heat is like making me all uncomfortable and things, so I gotta turn my fan back on. Let me push my microphone back so it's like not making a air type noise and things or a wind noise. But anyways, but yeah, I'm overall there for people. Regardless if I've dealt with their situation or not. Like I tell people like, okay, I'm not overall dealing with your situation, but like let me understand. Tell me how it feels. Like, tell me. Talk to me. That's why I'm like, no, don't sit here and suffer because a person hasn't dealt with your situation. Tell people about your situation. That's like one of the major keys of fighting depression is talking to people. You can't, my thing is that I kept a lot of stuff bottled up inside. So that's why in the beginning of quarantine, when I was dealing with depression and I was breaking down in tears, crying and all of that stuff, because it was a lot of bottled up emotions that I did not tell anybody about. And then until like the time came where I'm like crying my eyes out. Now I'm just like this broken person. Now, and that's like the whole thing, like, with like the temple like crashing and like, coming down and things, like at that point, like beginning of quarantine, crashed, burned, broken, everything was just ground level. Like I wasn't the person I was prior before. So that's why I was like, yeah, I overall, like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to go to. I overall felt like people would laugh at me or make fun of me over the situation that I was depressed over and things, but they didn't. There's people, that was the one crazy thing about it, was that there's people like hitting me up saying like same thing has happened to them. So hearing that and people telling me that, then it overall kind of like, it didn't make me feel better that other people had to deal with that. But like it was, because yeah, that it's just like that pain and that suffering. I'm like, nah, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I'm like, nobody, I would be there for my worst enemy if they were dealing with some stuff like that. So that's why I'm like, yeah, it's it's stuff like that. Like, with like overall the things I was dealing with, it was like a painful experience, but it overall made me a stronger person. It's just like that old saying, and I know it's like not to be like all cheesy and all that stuff and corny, but whatever doesn't kill you, it will make you stronger. So that's why I'm like, would you rather throw your whole life away, not be able to experience your whole life to the fullest because of, and it's like not even to like, like talk about your personal life, but to talk about your personal life. Like, I'm not going to say that whatever your situation is minor. But I feel like, when they start talking about committing suicide and stuff, because it's something that, that I never would go through myself, because I'm like, I just got way too much in the tank. I just got way too many things to live for. And there's so many people like ahead of me that I can, like, I can be there for them and things. So to end my life, that just, I don't know. I just feel like that overall, it wouldn't be fair to the people around me. I got friends and family and so many people that care about me and things. So if one person doesn't care about me, I can't make that one person speak for everybody around me. Like that's what I'm like, you have to like whatever situation. And I know as hard as it, might sound and as hard as it might seem, you have to move on from the situation. You have to be a stronger person for you and for the people around you. Because think about it. People will look up to you and they will idolize you for that type of stuff. I've had friends hit me up because when I dealt with the whole situation, and then like not too long afterwards, I was posting videos of me like laughing, posting memes, posting TikTok videos. Like I was overall in a better state than I was like prior before. And there's friends of mine that was hitting me up saying like how much they look up to me and how much I motivated them and all that stuff. Like I had one friend I don't know if I was like the main motivation on behind like them doing poetry, but they hit me up and then they overall was talking about like how like cool and dope it was that I'm like despite everything that was going on in my life at the time being, I still was doing YouTube videos. I still was doing my podcast. I was still doing things. I was like, I can't overall give up on this stuff. And then that's another thing where I'm like, keep yourself busy with something. Keep yourself, and that's why I had to sit down and thank YouTube for I kept myself busy with YouTube. So overall, I was like, yeah, I gotta keep making videos because I ended up playing and beating the Spider-Man video game throughout this whole quarantine situation. So yeah, those go subscribe to my gaming channel. Them videos should be coming out soon. But yeah, I was in that was one thing that I was doing that was just overall taking my mind off of things. I was playing video games. So if you need to play video games, play them. Play Spider-Man. Spider-Man, that game, oh my goodness. I played a crap ton of that game throughout quarantine. I'm like, man, I honestly, I really do like that Spider-Man video game. I'm kind of mad that I beat it, but then no, I got the Game of the Year edition, so there's other stuff that I can do. But then I've been playing the one game Destiny. Another thing that I do is I've been listening to music. I've been trying to avoid all of the sad songs I possibly can listen to. Except one. It wasn't even really a sad song. I guess in a way it kind of is, but it's a song that I can listen to. But no, I remember there's a night where things was really getting to me, and I had started playing that song, broke down in tears, and just started crying my eyes out. I mean, dang. It was bad. It was seriously so bad. I was I wouldn't necessarily say that it was embarrassing, but it was just something where I'm like, man, what happened? How does and then that's another thing that crosses my mind where I'm over here thinking everything is bad, that's it's happening to me. I'm not trying to wish any of this stuff that's happening to me on anybody else, but I'm a part of me is all dang, when am I gonna get out of this situation? When am I gonna be able to just be I'm overall happy? I am that's the thing though, I am happy. I'm not mad. I'm not all upset or anything. It's compared to how I was at the beginning of quarantine, yeah, I'm much more better. I would have to say if somebody were to ask me where's my temple at right now, it's definitely I would have to say that they just gotta add its final touches. The final touches, and then at that point I feel that would be much more better and stuff once when those final touches are put together and things. But I I'm still I'm overall I know that there's gonna be things that's gonna get to me far more worse than the situation I was dealing with, but that's the whole that's life. That's life. That's what I'm I want to tell people is that the things that you deal with, that is life. There ain't no escape route or no way out of it. You can't be a cold, heartless SOB your whole life. No, you got to overall sit down and face everything. You have to. Heartbreaks, deaths, you have to face all of the things that you're afraid of facing. I feel that's one thing that people don't do, and that's one thing that I try to mentally prepare myself for, is that I can lose people at any given moment. I can have my heart broken at any given moment. What other things? Stuff might not work out for me the way I want it to at any given moment. But I stand up, I dust myself off, and I get stronger. So then, at some point in times, I guess, when you've dealt with the situation so many times, at one point, then, then yeah, you are a cold, heartless SOB. But eventually it just gets to a point where it's yeah, I'm not going to allow this stuff to make me sad anymore. I've dealt with this so many times, and it's just, but see, that's the thing though, where don't make it seem that you're invincible. I have to say, that's one thing that I have to say. No, there's nobody in this world that is invincible. Nobody. Maybe Bruce Banner, but he's fictional, so. But nah, jokes aside, yeah, there ain't nobody that's invincible. So you might go your whole life dealing with a bunch of things, but then there's that one time where it really does get to you. So, to talk about my situation, I have, well, I wouldn't necessarily say that I have problems with women, but I overall feel like to just be flat out honest, I feel like that I am not like attractive. Like, you know, with like women don't find me attractive. I was about to say that all wrong. I had to seriously add a pause at the end of like whatever sentence I was about to say. But no, I overall feel like that women don't find me attractive. You know, I've that's the thing where I'm like, I would have to say that I've fallen in love twice throughout my whole life. Both of those situations just ended up just being very soured for me. But there has been other times where I just like talk to girls and things, and then either get like left on red or what else. I remember there was a one time. Now I wasn't even mad at her for like saying that or doing that and things. I actually seen her as a good friend at that point. I was like, you know, somebody that's just flat out honest, somebody that's gonna just tell you straight up. There ain't gonna be no like hiding around it or having me playing like tic-tac-toe with you on the whole situation. Like, nah, like tell me from the start. So then I'm like not going into this thing thinking that something can work out, something to happen, and it's just like this unnecessary build-up. But I'll admit, like when I did hit this girl up, it did cross my mind. I'm like, something can possibly happen, because I'm like, she seemed cool and stuff. So anyways, I remember messaging her on Facebook. She told me, like, you know, it was like before we even got into a conversation, like I'd like, you know, asked her how her day was going, all that stuff, ask her like, you know, like how she's doing and all that. I overall try to like, because you know, I like when they like, I ask them that because I'm just like, you know, like I'm pretty much asking them like what's going on in life. You know, I think I should like, you know, because I was like, it's funny how I say like I don't beat around the bush, but I feel like, you know, like maybe I need to start like asking that like how's like life going and things, because like, you know, you never know. And I'm like, but at the end of the day, you know, there's people that's kind of like gonna find things like hard to talk about and stuff. So I don't know, I'll stick to my how's your day going question and things. But anyways, I asked her that. She said cool. I think we said like a few other things, but then she was just all like I think she was either in a relationship or she had just gotten out of a relationship. I can't remember, but it was something relationship. Like, she told me that, you know, that there ain't gonna be no like funny business happening between us and things. So I'm like, all right, you know, I ain't tripping about that and stuff. Like, all right, cool, so be it and things. But no, then after that, we became like really good friends. I remember we played Grand Theft Auto. She would take me off of my bike and then just drive off into the distance with it. Like, she was seriously like attacking me for no reason, even though. And then it even got to the point where it was happening at school. I remember I was sitting down chilling with my friends eating lunch. I'm over here getting hit with bread crust from the old dried up pizza that they were selling to us. We were having ourselves a little mini food fight in the lunchroom and things. So no, it was like somebody like her. I'm like, yeah, she was chill. She was cool. We haven't really, I can't even remember, like we hadn't talked in a while. Like I don't know. We tried talking maybe a few weeks ago maybe, but it ain't really, I don't know, it wasn't like it ended on bad terms between us, but there's just some things that like me and her dealt with like separate like from us, but it was like I don't know, I don't want to really get too deep in depth with them, put like people's personal business and stuff out there and things, but there are some things that happened that involved us and things, and so we you know, we've been kind of like silent and stuff, because I don't know, maybe it like, I don't know, like I'm overall like chilling Gucci, but maybe with her, like it, you know, maybe some things like appears in her mind that it's like, you know, it's kind of just hard to deal with and things. But anyways, yeah, you know, life can be hard at times, you know, but I have to say, like, if there's people out there that wants to help you and be there for you, take that help. Seriously, take that help. Do not push people away. There's this girl I went to school with where she was like, she overall had dealt with some things, and I tried being there for her. I really did too. I really did. And like, even still till this day, like, that's somebody where I'm like, man, like I don't know, because I know her brother, and I've been meaning to like message her brother and ask him like how is she doing and things, like, but that's the thing, I don't want to like message him and then overall make it seem like, so I'm like trying to like build up something between me and the brother and things, and then eventually ask like, hey, how's your sister doing and stuff. But overall, like, you know, just seeing, because I'm like, she dealt with some things in her life, and I'm like, man, you know, like I really, like, you know, I've never been in that situation, but I can imagine like the pain that you would be dealing with in a situation like that. you know. So that's I'm like I was like, yeah, I just been like, I think just I should just do it. Like I should just message her brother and just be like, hey, you know, how's she doing? Is she doing okay? Cause it's like, you know, you haven't really, like, I haven't really seen, she doesn't even post on social media, so that's the thing that kind of, like, scares me about this situation. I'm like, you know, I just want to, like, overall, like, check, that's my thing, that's my problem. I check up on people, you know, because I'm like, that's what I'm like, I don't really know. And then that's what it was like with the one friend where she had lost both of her grandfathers and things. I was checking up on her, like, not too long ago. And what else? It was just today. There was a kid. I didn't even really go to. We didn't really know each other like that. He was, you know, but he was definitely well known around the school. He's actually probably the most famous kid that went to our school and stuff. But anyways, he has some personal issues. Like anytime when I see somebody posting some stuff. Like there's a friend of mine, she was having like her kid was like either sick or something went down with her kid. I messaged her and I let her know, like, you know, you will be in my prayers and things. Like I had to, you know, I felt like overall, like letting somebody know that, hey, you're not alone, like I'm here for you if you ever need somebody to talk to. And that's how I ended up becoming really good friends with one of my friends. She it was like years ago, she dealt with a breakup. She had to post something on social media in order for me to send her a message and things. But yeah, I sent her a message and I let her know, like, hey, you know, whatever situation, like, you know, I was like, overall, I knew the situation, but I'm like, hey, and it was funny, I seen them old messages not too long ago and stuff, but no, she was I think, yeah, she was dealing with a breakup. I was like, hey, you know, like I can only imagine like the pain that you're in right now. Like I really do hope you feel better. You need somebody to talk to. I'm here for you. Hopefully things work out. And then it was like, I remember this, she contacted me like years after that. I had like multiple conversations with people. She contacted me years after that and was like, hey, like, you know, you said like all these years ago, like you'd be there for me. I just wanted to thank you for that. And I'm like, did I? I'm like, dang, did I? I'm like, I don't remember. I'm like, dang, what was I? I'm like, man, I'm like, that's the thing I just don't understand about myself. It's like, how do I be forgetting things? I don't smoke weed, I don't drink, I don't do any sort of drugs to where it would make me forget stuff, but I will forget things. Like, there's even another time where the same friend, she said, I can't remember what she had overall said or did. I think it was a gift or something. I think it was this gift. She got me some painting equipment for my shoes. And I think I did I'm trying to think. I forgot if she got me a gift. So I don't remember if I did forget that she got me the gift or not. Like I'm a forgetful person. I seriously, there will be something that you'll tell me like that morning and I will forget it by that afternoon. Like, oh, wait a second. And, like there would be videos I would save for people so to have it watch them and things. Straight up will forget about it. Old co-workers. There was my friend that I used to work with. I would sit here and there'd be a movie that I would watch. Straight up, just like I'll see him the whole day. We would be standing side by side with each other at the cash registers the whole day. Be meaning to tell him the movie. The thing that makes me so mad, I'm like getting a little bit off topic and things, like I guess to like brighten up this episode. I mean, the episode it is a motivational episode and things, but to just like add some like comedy to it. I would work with this guy the whole day. I would be going to work and would be thinking like, oh man, I can't wait to tell him about this movie. I know he's gonna like this movie. I see him, say what's up, good morning, probably have a conversation, be messing around with some of the other coworkers. Then I forgot the whole movie, everything. Then the worst part about it is that he would, knowing my luck, I will remember the movie as soon as I get on the bus. I sit down and be like, forgot to, I go look somebody in the face. They all like looking at me and things like, what's wrong with him? Like, forgot to tell my coworker about a movie. I'm like, don't even know who this person is on the bus, but I just had to tell somebody. I'm like, dang. I'm all like, then it's like, you know, then it's like I feel like if I'm texting him, I'm like, I don't know, I should just overall wait because I'm like, I know I'm gonna see him and things, but I'm like, maybe I should. That's what I need to just start doing and things. I just need to. It's like if I'm gonna forget something, I'm like, I just need to just go ahead and just text the person. I'm like, I ain't gonna be doing this to myself every single time. So, anyways, yeah, but I'm forgetful. I'm just letting y'all know that right now. So y'all tell me something, I straight up will forget. I remember some things, but it's like then there's other times I'm like, dang, that happened? When did this happen? That's how I was just like with this, like with my friend when she told me like, oh, I messaged her saying that I was gonna be there and things. I'm like, I'm trying to remember that, but I'm like, I don't remember. I'm like, yo, she might be a secret spy. Like, I don't know. She claims that she that she be painting houses and things. Honestly, she might be working for the FBI. And seriously, she might be working for the FBI and then just trying to set me up. She thinks that I'm somebody important, but I'm not. Like, I'm like, look, if she hears this, I am like, whoever you think I am not. All right. Like, I hope she's a painter. I hope she is painting houses. I hope she ain't no FBI agent. Then that'd be so scary. What if there's somebody out to get me? She comes over to my house. Then that's another thing about her, though. She even has, like, a police-type car. Like, she has, like, this all-black Camaro, and I'm like, I feel like this would be the car, like, I seriously would be, like, asleep. She'll be all like, get in the car. Like, these bad people are out to get you, and they're in the area right now. So she done like hit me off somewhere in these houses. A bunch of friends went to school with, they FBI agents. I'm like, I was eating food with you guys like 10 years ago. What happened? I'm like, this ain't right. This ain't right at all. But nah, she cool though. She is an FBI agent. I'm like that. So like that's what I'm like. I'll be mad because I'm like, so are we friends or are we not friends? I'm like, I need to know that right now because I'm like, I'm like, you doing this to overall protect me? I'm like, I don't need protection now. I'm like, I don't want it no more. But nah. Anyways, jokes aside. Fighting depression. I feel like this is what I'm gonna say about it. Fighting depression is overall like a boxing match. As many times there will be like that final punch on depression where you just knock it down completely, but that does not mean that that's going to be your last fight. And then there might be times where it's like, you think that you've won this fight, but it's going to keep getting back up until you give it everything that you got. Give it everything that you got, and then see what happens at the end. But if you're not giving it everything that you got to overall make yourself a better person, this is going to be the same demon that you just keep fighting over and over and over again. So, anyways, fight, depression. I hope y'all win this fight. And that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. And if you're purchasing tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. And that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching and or listening, and peace.